A few days ago, a young man from Bayelsa State was lynched to death here in Nigeria by an angry mob. Why was he lynched, you may ask? It was alleged that the young man, who was said to be a first-class graduate of the University of Ibadan, stole a loaf of bread, and because of that, he was lynched to death by an unruly crowd. Assuming, but without conceding to the fact that that young man did steal a loaf of bread, is lynching him to death the appropriate thing to do in the circumstance? Lynching him to death is inappropriate and a very bad thing to do. In fact, it is barbaric, it's cruel, it's immoral, it's unlawful, and it should be condemned by all and sundry. It is horrifying, and respect for the value of human life has degenerated. However, what is even more worrisome is the manner the perpetrators will comfortably go home, eat, and sleep without an iota of remorse. It is an unfortunate situation, and I feel for the parents of the young man, and I hope that he will find peace in the Lord. You are welcome to the Save the Boy Child campaign initiative. It is a platform created by the House of Caroline Humanitarian Foundation. It gives us an opportunity to discuss the developmental issues affecting the boy child and the need to save the boy child in our society. As a parent, what are you doing to save your boy child? You just heard that a young man of about 32 years of age was lynched to death by an angry mob. What could have made a young man who was said to be a first-class graduate of the University of Ibadan to go stealing, if not hunger, if not poverty? Undeniably, that man was highly intelligent. Intellectually, he wasn't lazy, but physically, he felt handicapped. And that's because we place much emphasis on formal education in this country. It may have been so difficult to get a job that will suit him. Being a first-class holder, it must have been difficult. And he sat down at home, probably waiting for that company, organization, parastatal that will place him at his desired position. And probably when none came, he resorted to stealing just to quench his immediate hunger. And that goes to show how much we do as parents. The emphasis on formal education should be reduced. I'm not by any means saying that people should not enroll their children to school. No, I'm just saying that we have formal and informal education, and we should explore both. Gone are the days we feel that certain jobs are made for some certain people in our society. We need to change the narrative. We need to save our children. The idea of staying at home without a job is quite depressing. By the time you graduate without getting a job, what do you think can possibly come across someone out there who introduce you to robbery or substance use? And before you know it, you become who ordinarily you wouldn't have been. Yes, as a parent, what are you doing to save your children from this kind of anomaly that we just heard? Imagine a first class stealing a loaf of bread. He wasn't engaged because, assuming he probably had something doing for himself, he wouldn't go stealing. As a parent, what are you doing to save your children? What are you doing to save your boy child in particular? Because the quest to get rich is higher on the boy child than the girl child. There is need for you to encourage your children to acquire skills. And what do I mean by skill? A skill is an enhancement needed to carry out a specific or particular action or act towards achieving a desired goal. While a skill acquisition is the ability to be trained on a particular subject or field and becoming good at it. You will agree with me that lack of skills acquisition is one of the major causes of corruption, crime, unemployment, and poverty in our society. And why do I feel that you need to encourage your children to acquire skills? The first on my list is that it will reduce crime. Oh yes, Skill acquisition reduces crime in our society and the world at large. People that are highly skilled are usually self-sufficient, engaged, and independent. You will hardly find them idle. At one point or the other, they will always be engaged doing one thing or the other. You can never stay hungry if you have a skill. And by so doing, crime will be reduced because there will be more money in your account. You'll be busy every time thinking of how best to improve on yourself and even other people around you. The second on my list is that if you have a skill, it will create job opportunity for you. You don't need to graduate and sit back at home. If you have a skill, definitely you'll be highly sorted for. At every now and then, you will see people looking out for you to give you job. And you have an advantage of choosing what to do, especially if you have more than a skill. There are too many things people can do nowadays. Instead of sitting back at home, thinking of what to steal. You can go into fashion design, graphic design, web design, coding. The aim is not to stay idle. The aim is to have money. The aim is to improve on yourself. The aim is not to place much reliance on your certificate. The third on my list is that if you are a highly skilled person, you will be self-employed. You will determine when to go out and when not to go out. You will determine who to work for and who not to work for. You can even have people enroll under your platform and get paid. You can determine when to travel and when not to travel. You live your life, soft life, simply because you have created a platform for yourself. You're not answerable to any boss. You create job opportunities for other people. Another reason you need to encourage your children to acquire skill is to break away from white-collar job. We depend too much on white-collar job, and it is not wise at all. The young man that passed probably depended on his certificate to be able to make a living for himself. And when that did not happen, he resorted to other means of survival. We have too many youths that feel miserable on a daily basis as a result of the fact that after graduation, they've not gotten a job. And I really do not understand why they should feel that way, since they are not handicapped. People are encouraged to make use of their hands. The reliance on white-collar job is much, and it should be discouraged. Nowadays, people sit at the comfort of their homes and do businesses. If you have a skill, you will be self-sufficient and independent. People that are highly skilled are cashing out on a daily basis. Just look around your neighborhood and you find out that they are not idle and they are not begging for food. It's just that we have this funny mentality that as a graduate, there are certain things I cannot do. And I don't know where we got that mentality from. We should encourage our children to acquire a skill. We don't need to allow our children to roam the streets and be in a position where they can die a shameful death. You as a parent will be deeply affected. Now that the young man is dead, he's not even aware of what is going on. But the parents will continue to live with that image, because when he even made the first class, it's only a few people that heard about it. But now that he had this ugly incident, the news is all over the internet. We should be more intentional with our parenting. It is our responsibility to put our children through, because most times their mind will not even go there. It is left for us to give them a different orientation, that in addition to whatever it is that you are, you can acquire a skill. It will help you to sustain you in life and keep you away from danger. The Save the Boy Child campaign is driven by the House of Caroline Humanitarian Foundation. And please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It will not cost you anything to do. Leave your notification bell on so you will always hear from us whenever we make any publication. Kindly share this message with your loved ones, friends and families, so they can be a beneficiary. My name is Chinwendu, and thanks for staying with me. Do have a nice day. Bye.